In the last episode, I talked about how I got started as an adult video actor in Japan. So this time, I'd like to talk about my origin story as an erotic massage therapist. I've been doing adult videos for several years, and eventually the novelty of doing it sort of wore off. Together with some negative impacts on my personal life, I began to think about moving away from doing adult videos. As such, I began to search for something else to replace the income. I found an ad recruiting massage therapists, and as I felt this was right up my alley, I decided to apply. But before we get into how I got started as an erotic massage therapist, we have to go back, way back, to my days as a college student. It's late. You're curious. Let's talk. Turn off the lights, turn up the volume, and welcome to Midnight Sakura. I lived in a co-ed dorm, and everyone used to gather and hang out frequently. Sometimes people would casually give each other massages. Watching this go down, I realized that I knew nothing about how to give a massage. So when I saw an option for a massage class one semester, I decided to take it. Yes, my university actually had a massage class. I have been told that this is not normal. It was a full body oil massage class, and the class syllabus warned us that we would be getting into it from the first day. Therefore, guys should be prepared to strip down to one pair of underwear, and women should bring a two-piece bikini. On the first day, first we listened to our professor as she taught us about meditation techniques. She was a well-traveled woman, and if I recall correctly, had studied extensively in Asia and was married to a Japanese man. After showing us how to give the full-body oil massage, she had us students partner off and practice on each other. After, of course, stripping down to our underwear, more or less. My partner ended up being a very sexy black woman. While I was happy with my luck of the draw, considering I was only wearing my boxer shorts at this point, I couldn't be too happy about things, if you know what I'm saying. I started off laying on my stomach, but laying on my back proved to be an incredible challenge. I had this incredibly beautiful woman straddling me, wearing a bikini, rubbing oil all over my body. In order to avoid becoming too happy about things, I had to run every non-sexy scenario through my mind. And somehow, I survived the session without launching my rocket. Although my original intentions were to casually learn how to do massage, of course, full-body oil massage is anything but casual. The combination of skin-on-skin contact and oil added an element of eroticism to the interaction, and from there, it was easy to step things up to the next level. For the sake of practice, I would offer massages to women I dated, girlfriends, or even just friends who might be comfortable with it, and I came to enjoy doing it. Therefore, when I found the recruitment ad for an erotic massage therapist, I thought that was right up my alley. I submitted my application, and within a few hours I had not only a reply, but also a date to meet up with the recruiter. A few days later, I found myself in a coffee shop sitting across the table from a Japanese guy. He had his laptop open while also constantly looking on his phone, giving off the vibe that he was really quite busy. Most of the interview questions have faded from memory, but one question has stayed with me for years. What is your impression of Fuzoku for women? Do you think it's an opportunity for you to get paid to mess around with women? I told him that I wasn't approaching this opportunity with that in mind at all. I felt that many women were quietly dealing with sexual frustration. In my own personal life, I'd met a lot of women who told me their previous partners were selfish in bed, and she felt like she couldn't express her desires, or even if she did, they went ignored. I pointed out how sex services for men were numerous and expansive in what they offered. I was happy to discover that women had options as well. Even from a young age, I've always felt that it's important to create an environment that not only welcomes female sexuality, but actively encourages it. The interviewer seemed to accept my response. He gave me a 5-page printed manual on customer service, a cheap vibrator, a counseling sheet for customers to fill out, and ran me through the info I'd need to create my profile page. After submitting all of that, as well as a profile photo shoot, my profile went live the following month. Despite now officially being an erotic massage therapist, part of me still doubted this whole thing was even real. Like many people, I couldn't understand why a woman would pay for a service like this. And even if I had somehow managed to step foot into this mythical world, would I actually be able to become a part of it? My shop advised me to write diary entries as part of advertising myself. I looked at other therapists' entries as a reference, and most were quite simple. For example, a picture of canned coffee, with the entry more or less being, I enjoy starting my day with this canned coffee. It's delicious. I'll work hard today too. I can understand the basic idea. Posting frequently increases your exposure, and keeping it simple makes it easier to post often. However, the writer in me refused to go low effort. I began writing entries, but tried to write something that I thought would be worth reading. I talked about my feelings in becoming an erotic massage therapist, as well as cultural differences regarding romance, relationships, and sex that I had noticed while living here. A month would pass before I got my first customer. I was given a name, which ultimately was an alias, a date for a meeting, location, and the course. That's it. I would know nothing about the customer until actually meeting her. For my first appointment, I would be going directly to her love hotel room. I remember how I felt when first arriving there. It was a cold, snowy day in Tokyo. I remember feeling butterflies in the pit of my stomach. This wasn't my first clandestine hotel rendezvous. It also wouldn't be the first time I'd given a woman an erotic massage before. I was actually quite confident in my abilities there. I was nervous because this was the first time I'd be getting paid to do it. And with that came an added layer of pressure. Could I really give her the experience she was looking for? And this was the point of no return. Despite having interviewed and having a profile page up, it still felt like some imaginary world. Even here, standing in front of the hotel, the reality hadn't quite hit me yet. But once I went inside, met up with a woman I'd never seen before, and would be committed to engaging in intimate acts with her, that line would forever be crossed, and this would become more than just some wild fantasy. It would become real, a real part of my life. I took a deep breath, went into the hotel, and took the elevator up to my client's room. To respect customer privacy, I won't get into too many details about the meeting. I will say that she warned me beforehand that she did not get off easily, and when it came time to get to it, I found her warning to be quite true. At first, she had little to no reaction, but I did everything I could, monitoring even the slightest change in her body's response and responding in kind, using pretty much every move I had in my arsenal, and staying down there for quite some time. Eventually, I had to raise the white flag, not so much out of my own fatigue, but because we were running out of time for the session. I was terribly worried. My very first appointment, and had I failed to deliver? As I came up for air, I said, "If I failed to get you off, I'm really sorry." My client looked at me with bewilderment spread across her face. "What are you talking about? I got off like 5 times, she said. "Oh, thank God. I don't know if I've ever felt more relief in my life. I never want to disappoint a woman, but especially not when getting paid for it. But 5 times? Really?" Honestly, could have fooled me. There was never a clear, "Oh, she's getting off" reaction from her. But that just goes to show that everyone reacts differently. And the overblown reactions you see in adult videos are often nothing more than fiction. We chatted for a bit in the time remaining, and she told me that she was glad she picked me. She also told me that one of the deciding factors in choosing me was having read my diary entries, as she could get a better idea of my character and personality from them. In many of my appointments since, I've had a lot of clients tell me that they read and enjoy my diary entries, and that they are influential in their decision to pick me as their therapist. Looking back, I accidentally stumbled into something important. I thought I was advertising myself as a therapist, but my ego as a writer compelled me to write entries with actual substance. I had no idea if anyone was even reading them. But what I was really doing was letting people get to know me. The first appointment helped make it feel all real to me. At first, this seemed like a fantasy world. Now, I'd taken my own first step into being a part of it. And even if I'd never gotten another client again, I could say that I'd done it. But following that first appointment, I would gradually get more and more appointments and clients. Clients of all types, who all had various reasons for using these services. I've also met other therapists and had experiences thanks to being a therapist that I would have never had otherwise. I've been told that most therapists only last for an average of 6 months. As of this recording, this is my 5th year of being a therapist. In that time, I have seen the Jofu world expand greatly, with the number of shops and therapists increasing at a blistering rate. Despite that, I feel it still remains relatively unknown. Many women are unaware that it exists, or even if they have a vague awareness of it, don't know why anyone would choose to utilize these services. I told the recruiter when I first interviewed, and it's a belief that I hold even more strongly now. I believe in these services. Now, actually having my clients, I can see how these services are beneficial to those who need them. And I want to be a part of that, to give women an option for expression and satisfaction that they wouldn't have had ordinarily. I am extremely happy and grateful for all the experiences I've had up to now, but even with 5 years behind me, I'm not done yet. I still have a lot to learn and so much more that I want to do. If anything, I feel like I'm just getting started. So perhaps this is an origin story that is still ongoing. That'll be a wrap for tonight. The sun may be rising, but night always comes back around, and with it more time to talk and more stories to share. See you next time.